Hello, everyone, and welcome to our brand new Hunter the Reckoning Chronicle In My Heart's Blood. This is episode 4, our penultimate episode, Into the Visible. So let's meet our visible hunters, starting with Avery.
Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Avery at Averydaboi on all the social media platforms. I am the partnerships manager over on the Rolling Nomads. You should check us out. And if you like what you see, send us an email, and I'm the person you'll be in contact with. But today, I'll be playing Herr Dr. Manfred von Obergefell, the Inquisitive Creed Hunter.
Thank you. Az?
Hello, everybody. I'm Az, or as I was on the social medias, because I think I'm funny. I'm Huddy's assistant, and today I will be playing JJ. We know now what JJ is. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. I mean, could say Inquisitive Creed Hunter, but we'd all know that you'd be lying. Luna?
Hi, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitch, where I stream. I am the social media manager on the Rolling Nomads, and this time zone, I will be playing Leoni Beck, the Underground Hunter.
Rachel?
Hello, everybody. I'm the Azure Butterfly, or Azure for short, or simply Rachel. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I'm also the production coordinator over on the Rolling Nomads, and this time zone, I am Xanthopy Zan Winters, the Martial Creed Hunter.
There you go. We're playing
got
Hunter. Last but not least, Ramos.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gilbert Ramos. I am found everywhere on the internet at Ramos the Nomad. I am the CEO and founder of Rolling Nomads. I'm also fighting with my audio. Tonight I have the pleasure of being following Luca.
You're the faithful Creed Hunter.
Yes.
You can't tell
Bitch
by the
ass
way Ramos is dressed. Yes. So, as always, this is a Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition actual play. Gone over our safety and consent, but please check in with yourselves as your well-being is important to all of us who are playing. All the content warnings for this game will be down in the description below. So if you all are ready, last one's anfangen, or let us begin. Turn to Berlin. The Cell, who is all of these people here, have taken a few weeks of downtime as life continues on alongside the hunt, and humans still need to maintain some income, relationships, and, of course, sanity in the world of darkness. We open our scene tonight with you, Manfred. Things for you, Manny, are going well. Maybe better than you could have ever calculated the possibility of things going. Of course, you couldn't count for variables of corpo will workers who want to change the consensus of the world, or the idea that you are a human bloodline of werewolves. But the only person you've ever known who understands you has returned to you. She wants to be here in Berlin with you, and you have just learned that she's carrying your child. The morning light of your bedroom seeps softly through the curtains, drawing pale golden patterns across the sheets. The room that you're in is completely still, but it is the two of you who are not. Your synced rhythm moves in slow, deliberate patterns against each other, your breaths, your rapidly increasing heartbeats, all building to that moment of release. And eventually, the two of you lay on your sides facing each other. Ilva's eyes are half closed, but she's watching you in a way someone watches a favorite painting in a gallery. Finally, she breaks the silence and says, I should have let you sleep. I really did want you to come up here and rest. I shouldn't have followed you up.
If that is the worst way that my day could have begun today, I think it went pretty well.
She takes a finger and starts drawing lines over your face. I really did miss you, Manny.
I missed you as well, Ilva. And I tried to keep up on your career as much as I could while maintaining my research and office hours, but I know it wasn't very fulfilling for you, but objectively you made some big accomplishments, regardless of what those accomplishments have been used for.
Unfortunately, on that we have to disagree. Manny, my accomplishments amounted to nothing but wickedness.
What a researcher's research is done for doesn't matter. It is the breakthrough which should matter to the researcher. That was in the ethics class that you taught?
I taught out of the curriculum. Tried to be... Wasn't like my parents. I tried to be human. as human as I could, follow the rules, do what they did. But I never really believed it. I can't help but have the altruism that I was raised with.
You are meant for great things, Elvisuits.
She sort of moves closer to you and really looks at you. You see that her eyes glaze over for a single moment. Can you roll me a wits and insight?
Sure. I do think I can add my... Oh, it's not a quarry. She's not a quarry, so I can't add my...
Well, I'll let you because she's not human.
Okay. So our desperation is at 1, 2, 3, 4.
Your desperation is at 4. Everyone's danger is at 1, just so you know.
5 successes.
With 5 successes, intuitively, you can tell that she is however it works, and that you do not know, and likely couldn't know unless you experienced it personally. She's working her will, maybe not on you, but on something.
What are you doing?
She closes her eyes and sort of leans herself into the crook of your neck and aligns her body with yours, and she says, I think it's you who's destined for great things. Many.
The greatest thing I could do is be a father to our child.
It's a long, pregnant pause where she does not answer you. Instead, she breaks away from you, sort of scooches herself to the end of the bed. I know you have more research that you have to do, and I promised you I'd look at that sugar cube that you got from, I can't remember the name of the young man's apartment you took it from.
Halcyon.
Strange name for someone who, as you described, is so broken.
Many people take the names of things they wish to emulate when they choose a name. I have a student who's calling themselves Rain. It's a very pure thing.
I think I see your point. I'll be in my lab where my elixirs are. You should keep reading through that blog post. I know it's a lot of conspiracy nonsense, but I think by now you should know that not everything that the humans believe is a conspiracy.
And Manny will get up and he will kiss her on kind of the temple. And we'll go and get ready for the day, brush his teeth, all of that nonsense, and then head to the office.
Now, inside your office, you have, as you described, a Tor browser, and you've done a lot of work to make sure that this April person and her group, the Technocracy, don't find out what it is that you're doing or follow you. Let me ask you, Manny, now Elva has gone into great detail of who they are and what they do and what they did to her. According to her, they forced her to become the way that she is now. How do you feel about them personally?
It seems like they use their abilities not to help people, rather than to control them, and this has always been a point of contention with Manfred.
Do you truly believe that they are as dangerous as Ilva claims? After all, Ilva hasn't left. And if she really was afraid of them, do you think that she would leave?
Some days it goes back and forth. I think today where Manfred is settled is that there must be something about him that outweighs the immense danger of them, and that is what is more curious for Manfred today, I think.
Okay. So you sit back down at your computer, and you have been reading several years worth of this blog by this man who lived in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Place in America you had never heard of before this night, and for sure have never been to. And he is indeed, as Ilva described him, a conspiracy nut. You've read blogs about Bigfoot, blogs about monsters that live in the swamp, monsters that live along the seacoast, shady dealings, Illuminati, space lasers, amongst other things. And you're getting a little tired of reading it, but Ilva assures you in whatever way that she knows that something in this blog will help you. She just doesn't know exactly where it is. And I have put up 2 of these blog posts for you, Manny. Would you like to read 2 of them out loud that I have put up for you?
Blog title, Low Tide Watcher. Post date, October 19th, 2022. Author, Aaron Coleman. Location, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Myrtle Beach is not what it seems. People think it's all golf carts and surf shops, but they don't know what's pulsing under the sand and clawing at the tides. They don't see the things I see, but that's okay. Someone has to keep watch. Let me start with the Sandmen. They come out just before sunrise when the beach is totally empty. Seen them twice this year, real tall, like lanky silhouettes made of seaweed. They vanish if you get too close, like they collapse back into the beach. Local legend says they were lighthouse keepers who drowned together during a storm in 1904. Now they try to rebuild their bodies every time the tide brings in the pieces. I'm not saying it's a fact, I'm just saying I've seen it. Out in the water, deeper than any lifeguard can swim, there's something bigger. Locals sometimes whisper about Mother Glass, a jellyfish the size of a house that's totally transparent. It drifts just below the surface and only shows itself during full moons. I heard a boat captain swear it flipped his trawler upside down one night in August. He lost 3 crew members, no bodies. But none of this compares to what I've uncovered this month. I've been tracking these odd black sugar cubes that started showing up at flea markets. At first, I thought it was some just failed hipster drug, but then I saw a man at the pier take one, pop it in his mouth, while his companion began to give him the longest hickey I've ever seen, if you can catch my drift. I got curious, bought a cube myself, didn't eat it. Did a flame test in my shed. Thing didn't melt. It shimmered, looked like ink blots, but they were memories, sketches of places I'd never been, music I'd never heard. Then I remembered a theory that I'd read on an old bulletin board. The changelings of the Appalachian Corridor. These fae took human creativity and bottled it. They called it glamour. Turns out that's what these sugar cubes are. Solidified glamour harvested from artists, writers, even children with vivid dreams. So where does the vampire part come in? About a week ago, I followed a woman I'd seen at least 20 times. She went into this weird boutique that's only open after 10 p.m. I looked through the side window and saw her meeting with 3 others, pale, hungry looking. They weren't eating the cubes, they were eating the people who ate the cubes. And then one by one they went wild. I mean, snarling, tearing at the walls, killing each other, and their druggy blood bags. Watch the shadows. Don't eat anything that's handed to you after dark. And if someone offers you a sugar cube, don't take it. Don't even touch it. Aaron Coleman.
Now, before you read the next blog, and of course, Manfred, this is finally, after all of this time, you have finally come across something that mentions these black sugar cubes. It gives you really not enough information. Okay, it's a changeling, but what does that mean? But you see this mention here of the Appalachian Corridor. You remember reading something about this in one of your books of folktale. And you do pull out that book out of your library. That's where you are, after all. And specifically, it is a book called Veil Walkers and Dream Thieves, a primer on hidden kith by Professor M.K. Laurent of the Arcanium Archives. Specifically, he was working when he wrote this in a branch in West Virginia. And if you'd like to read that for us as well.
Changelings, or Kithane as they refer to themselves, are fae souls bound within mortal flesh who took refuge inside humanity to survive subsequent disbelief that tore their old world asunder. They are not mortals touched by fairy magic, nor are they fairies pretending to be human. They are both. This dual nature defines their existence. The mortal seeming is a necessary mask to survive in a world grown mundane, while their fae mien reflects their true essence, visible only to those attuned to it, or those they deem worthy to see it. Each changeling belongs to a kith, a fey lineage which embodies mythic archetypes. They feed on glamour, the raw stuff of dreams, and creativity which sustains their fey soul in a world increasingly hostile to others. And why do they need this raw font of marble? Well, as we all do, these Kithane all live under the shadow of banality, the creeping force of disbelief, cynicism, and routine that erodes their magic, and if they themselves are to be believed, threatens to undo their very soul. In ideal balance, Kithane gather glamour through reverence, by inspiring artists, nurturing dreams, guiding visionaries, and immersing themselves in passion. But when starving, desperate, or corrupted, some turn to extraction. They begin to harvest glamour forcibly from mortals, draining it from children's fantasies, stealing inspiration from lovers, or inducing obsession in artists until they burn out. This is not a metaphor, it is parasitism. The danger lies in how subtle it is. A musician forgets a melody they frequently dreamt of for years. A child stops pretending altogether. A painter's hands tremble with doubt for the first time. A Kithane who feeds too greedily rarely notices the harm done, or simply dismisses it as necessary. After all, they too are victims. These changelings become unpredictable, volatile, and indeed quite predatory.
So this is it, Manny. This is the most information that you could possibly gather on what Nastinka is and what these sugar cubes are. Unfortunately, there's nothing in here that talks about how you can stop them, what hurts them. Can they be hurt by mundane weapons like being stabbed or being shot? Is it fire? What is it? And that, for you, is a frustration. Before you call Ilva to let her know what you have learned, and of course before you text your cell for them to come to your manor home so you can share all of this information with them, you do check the blog one more time. Maybe Aaron has written something more about this, but you realize there's only one more post left. The blog ends in 2022. Would you like to read that final blog post?
Post date, December 3rd, 2022. Author, Elixir, formerly known as Aaron Coleman. Location, unknown. The ocean no longer speaks in waves. I write their wisdom in the condensation on the windows. The blood clarifies, doesn't it? Aaron Coleman is dead, or mostly. You can call me Elixir. I didn't ask for this, but maybe I did in the way that a locked door asks to be open. He found me. He fed me his blood in the hour between dusk and true night, and when it was over, I could hear the color of people's thoughts. I could taste the lies in the fog. The world rearranged itself into truths I didn't know how to hold. I still don't. The blood is a radio dial stuck between stations. Still, the truth leaks through. There are monsters on this planet older than language. I'll leave notes in the static for those still watching.
Now, Manfred, this man, as ranting as he was for most of the blog posts that you read, dating back several years, was not too dissimilar from you and your cellmates. He was a person seeking the truth. He was a person looking for what is beyond the veil of the mundane, what hides in the darkness of the world. And it appears that something happened to him because of his constant looking. Does that cause any sense of fear in you?
I think for the first time, maybe in Manny's entire life, he's kind of... Maybe fear isn't the right word. He himself is struck with a certain uncertainty. Reading over these words, it feels like the way he felt when he didn't understand what these mean but casual interactions with his cousin were about. It makes him feel like he felt when they got to the bottom of that mountain and he saw how sliced up his his jacket was when Bericard caught him on the mountain. It makes him feel confused and strange in the way that he had always felt when Claudia would sneak into his room in the middle of the night. It's that same strange. It's like when you look in the mirror for the first time and see how bad your face looks from a night out or something. It's that same, I didn't realize this was me until now. And so I think fear is part of it, but I think the greater part of it is, have I been living with this for longer than I've even realized? Have I been, all of these times I said I wasn't afraid, was I lying to myself?
As you allow those thoughts and feelings to percolate inside of you, you print out these pertinent blog posts. You make photocopies of this excerpt from the book in order to hand out to your cell, multitasking as it were, as you begin texting them. We'll come back to you, Manny, shortly. But for now, we're going to move to JJ. JJ, last night, after visiting your mother, you ran into your sire's latest beau, Bertrand. You know, the apparent brother of a werewolf who is also brother to Manfred's girlfriend. Bertrand was drunk and throwing bottles at the doors of Bergane, a dangerous place to cause a problem, so you wrestled him away, learning that Alyosha has been feeding Bertrand his blood, and not because he believes that Alyosha loves him, but because Bertrand is dying of a genetic disease. A pity blood bond, if you will. That of course leaves Bertrand involuntarily obsessed with Alyosha, and completely miserable at the same time. You told him Alyosha was a bad guy, that Bertrand deserved better. You gave him your blood, JJ, and you know what that means in kindred society. You stole someone else's property. And you brought that property back into your home, into your bed. Nothing happened, of course. Bertrand was far too drunk to consent to anything, and now the messy feelings will begin with his blood in your veins instead. You didn't sleep tonight. There was no way you could safely hook yourself up to the defibrillator with Bertrand having passed out in your bed. So you checked your cameras, inspected your security. You watched him sleep, maybe longer than you thought you would. And you're watching him now. Rouse check, please.
Success.
So you should still be at 1 hunger, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bertrand is laying on his back, the sheets twisted halfway off the bed, one arm dangling off the edge like he was trying to run back to Bergane, even in his sleep. Eventually he stirs, rubbing a hand over his face, an act that looks beautiful in a way that you couldn't explain if you were asked to. Where am I? He asks in a coarse voice, not even opening his eyes yet.
I took you back to my place. JJ standing there has a bottle of sparkling water and some sort of pain relief in the other hand, and is a measured pace away where it's just like, okay, this doesn't feel like looming, but I'm close enough if he decides to throw up again that the bucket that JJ has put next to the bed is there.
When Bertrand hears your voice, he does open his eyes, and they are completely bloodshot, and he sort of involuntarily checks to see if he's wearing clothes. He is, and he looks at you. Did anything between us?
If you mean when you emptied the contents of your stomach onto my shoes, then yes. And then told me that you don't go home with strangers, and were very drunk outside of a very dangerous place, then, yes, something did happen, but not what you're worried about.
You put your blood in a bottle and I drank it. I didn't throw that up, did I?
No, that happened after.
Right. This is awkward.
Mainly because you look like you're dying, but a lot better than you were yesterday. Here, and JJ is gonna hand over the hangover supplies. Are you hungry?
Not unless you would like me to throw up on these shoes.
I've got extra pairs.
What happens now?
I'm going to leave that up to you.
Oh, I really don't think it's up to me.
No. Unfortunately.
Is he gonna come here? Is he gonna know?
He'd have to notice.
I mean, I feel it. I feel that it's different. Does he? How does it work? What's the science here?
From my understanding, it's layers of a connection. So it just will go away unless you go back. And if you want to go back, I
don't. I don't want to go back. I'm worried he's gonna make me, though. I don't know everything about how your society works, but, you know, Alyosha he's fucking yaps. You know that about him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because he talks so much about me all the time.
Well, not about you, but, you know, about the witch and the stuff that she does, and society, Camarilla, Anarchs, Hikata,
Yeah.
he talks about them a lot.
Here's the thing, okay? If he says something, then he has to actually talk to me about it and talk about how we are connected. And that actually works for me.
I mean, with me not involved with this anymore, I really could just ask my sister to kill him and she would. But I think that might cause a whole lot of problems.
I'd prefer if she didn't. That would make a whole scene of everything, and honestly, you should get yourself away from it if you can.
I really can't. It's either this or die, and I kind of don't want to die. It's weird. It's like a weird human thing about me.
I would like it if you weren't dead. And maybe if we did this again without you being drunk.
Well, I would like it, and he sort of leans himself back against the pillow, puts the water down. He's taken the aspirin. He says, if you would just lay here with me a little while longer, just maybe until I stop feeling the earth move.
Yeah, I can. It's the least I can do, I guess. Probably. If you're sure. I know this is kind of weird because of the blood, but
Well, I trust you're a man of honor, and you're not going to, you know, have your way with me while I'm in this very fragile state.
I am nothing if not a gentleman, as I said last night.
Well, then maybe you should prove it.
And JJ will sit on the bed and then like slowly scooch up to the headrest. Make sure to push the defibrillator and the hot plate just a little bit farther away, just in case.
And just as you're about to almost brush arms with Bertrand, about to lay down, your phone goes off. And when your phone goes off, it tends to be, you sort of assign a notification sound to everyone. Manny's not a texter, so when Manny texts you, it is a very long and loud notification sound, so you do not miss it. And you sort of jolt back upright instead of laying back down.
Oh, sorry, I'll get that. And is gonna look at the text. What exactly did it say?
What exactly would Manfred text the group chat?
It says, Guten Morgen. I have cracked the Scooby-Doo. Come over.
Is that an actual reference?
There's a geopin. Because Manfred never told anybody where he lived.
Mm-mm.
I have to go, actually.
Oh, this is starting to sound very familiar. I can't believe we're starting our relationship off this way.
I don't have to go right away. I have time. And I'd like to spend it with you.
Okay, well, already got one in the plus column over him.
And we can get into more of my pluses later.
Mm-hmm. And when my breath doesn't taste quite this bad.
Yeah, well, drink. Dehydration. It's a killer. That's a bad joke, I'm sorry.
It's fine, I've gotten used to making jokes about me dying.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Well, not really something you have to worry about.
JJ pauses because he knows that he really would like to someday.
Mm-hmm. Bertrand sort of holds a hand up and he goes, which, by the way, is not on offer. I don't want to be what you are.
I've never killed anyone, and I don't plan on ever making someone like me.
Oh.
Yep.
I guess that puts you in the minus column.
Why?
Alyosha promised when I was ready to die, he'd be the one to do it.
To make you like us.
No. Give him one last meal, I guess.
Everybody deserves a gentle death.
I felt the fangs. I know how to gently go into that good night.
Yeah. Mine wasn't gentle.
Bertrand starts dozing off again, starts lightly snoring. How much time do you spend there before you leave?
I think that JJ spends a good 25 minutes exactly panicking. Takes 5 minutes to make some toast or some sort of we're gonna soak up the last bits of alcohol food, and then writes out a note that says, God, it's so stupid. Here's the name of who he's with. This is the generalized area that he's at, and he will be back within the next couple hours, or he will message, and then he's going to write down his phone number.
These are all excellent things to write down in physical form. This is perfect.
So good.
So good. So when you take your van, which I assume because Steglitz-Zehlendorf is a ways out of the city,
Yeah.
Is it fully loaded?
Yeah.
I have to ask a very specific question. You know that lupines exist, obviously.
Mhm.
You don't know the specific weaknesses of werewolves. You can make educated guesses, but also there are probably humans who think that you can't be around garlic. Do you take any silver bullets? I ask for no reason.
I think probably just because of the made-for-TV movies that JJ used to binge way back when in prep school.
Mm-hmm.
And some sort of fire starter.
It's dangerous for you, but not so much for your compatriots, so.
Exactly. So it's going to be, hey guys, in case anyone comes after us for no specific
Here's a
reason,
flamethrower.
Here's a flamethrower.
Perfect. All right, so you're going to head with your van fully stocked. Good to know. We're going to move to Luca now. Luca, you've spent these last few weeks of quote-unquote downtime, not to use a D&D term, at St. Hildegard's Refugee Center, where you've learned that not only is your recent acquaintance Sophia hearing a voice calling to her from the waters around Peacock Island, but so has one of the young women here, a teenager named Olga. Not only that, but 5 other women in the area have recently drowned in the canals. Unfortunately, it's not a problem you can focus on at the moment, as you stand outside the refugee center watching emergency workers wheel out 2 young boys from Syria who are living here. Their mother is currently weeping into your arms. These boys have, as you know, have been plagued for weeks with nightmares after consuming a sugar cube handed out by a mysterious volunteer that none of the staff can remember. Their ability to sleep and enter any sort of restful cycle has been eroded, and their bodies have been visibly shutting down. You did the hard thing, Pastor. You called 112, which is Germany's version of 911. You had the children taken to the hospital immediately. And the mother is inconsolable as her sons are being loaded into the ambulance. She's crying into your arms, but she's also yelling at you, and she says, "You prayed over them. You said you prayed over them."
I did. I did.
"And so you have no power with your God. Is your God just as dead as mine? He hears my prayers no better."
Nein, Fräulein, he'll stop himself from kind of falling into what they teach you in the church. The stock responses of the Lord works in mysterious ways. So he'll stop and kind of have to recalibrate and say, with so many prayers, when God takes time, things will be done in His time. Fräulein, children will live.
My boys cannot wait for the timetable of a God.
I know.
They are all I have.
And you will not lose them. I promise you.
She pushes herself away from you, pushes you slightly.
I will grab her hand if I can before she leaves. If our gods are not listening, it's up to us to make them listen. I'll let her hand go.
She just shakes her head at you. If they die. She doesn't finish the sentence. Said she steps into the ambulance to go with her sons who survived, who made it out of a war-torn area, somewhere supposedly safe, and yet here they are not safe. How do you feel, Pastor, about this situation, knowing it's related to the sugar cubes?
I think he is indulging in a bit of anger, allowing himself to be angry. And I think in his head he is having a very stern word with God.
Is it internal or external?
I think it might seep into external, where he says, "This is your test. If these people not suffered enough, these are your followers. You could usher them and guide them into Eden. Instead, you bring them to hell."
And as you say that, whisper that under your breath, a text message comes through, pings, almost like a sign.
Check it.
You see it is from Manfred, who never texts you, or anyone, and it's telling you to come to his home, that he has found something. He makes a Scooby-Doo reference that you don't understand.
This is more to the plate of... This is more that I cannot solve. And the fight will have more words, Father.
You receive no other text messages to interpret as signs or no signs from God.
I will put on the armor of God, and I will prepare my things to leave.
gather your things that you have here. You once again, I assume, you see Olga is still in here. Everyone looks concerned. As you know, this is a refugee mostly for women, but also women with children. Olga looks concerned. Of course, you told her to not ever go out alone, as she is also hearing strange voices from the canals. She gives you a look. You grab your bag, your go bag, let's call it. You head out. You head out to the tram to take you all the way to Stiglitz-Zehlendorf. It's the fastest way for you to get to the tram from where you are, is walking beside the Havel River, actually, over the canals. And as you walk, wits and awareness, please.
Sure.
You may use your desperation dice here.
Are we still at Desperation 3?
You're at desperation 4.
Oh wait, fuck. Oh god.
But our danger is no longer at 5. It's at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
I run it right up and then...
That's nice.
God. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use all the desperation dice.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell's my awareness? There it is. I found it. We're okay. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Yeah.
Don't worry.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes. I've never mentioned anything weird coming out of the canals at all. With 3 successes, you hear the voice of someone that you haven't heard of in quite a long time. It's actually the voice of someone that you are 100% sure isn't alive anymore. It is the voice of Father Andreas. And he says, Mein Löwe, is that you? And Father Andreas is the man, by the way, who was with you at the exorcism, who became possessed. Who tore off his own face.
You're not real.
I suppose it is easy for you to say that as you blaspheme God openly.
Get thee behind me, Satan.
I'm not behind you. I'm within you. Always.
And you are but guilt and shame. You are unresolved. You are nothing. You are gone.
Those are, as they say, mein Löwe, which means my lion, fighting words. Come closer and you can say them better, louder in the echoes of the canals. And can you roll me a stamina and occult roll, please?
Sick. Can I use my desperation?
No.
Would that
Well,
be
yes,
okay?
I'll allow it. I'm just joking. Yes, I'll allow it. This is direct or indirect confrontation with supernatural.
That is 5 successes.
With 5 successes, you take a single step towards the canal, but you can stop yourself, and you realize with that something is pulling you towards the canal. Something other.
The anger might spill, and he'll raise his voice to the river and call out, "You're nothing. You steal names. You steal names and voices, and you won't face me. Because you fear God. You fear the instrument of his will. So face me, demon."
I fear nothing, Luca. Face me. It is you who are resisting me.
Cowardice. Vile cowardice.
Luca, as you stand there on the street arguing with the river, we're going to move to Xanthippe. Xanthippe, you're exiting with expediency from your therapist's office, Dr. Moore, after witnessing something truly frightening, a man doing magic right in front of your eyes, making flowers bloom and using their natural agency to boost your mood and levels of serotonin. He seemed charming, calm, eager to help you, but in your gut you know something is not right with this. No one with that kind of power can be truly altruistic, right? All these thoughts run through your mind as you look down at your phone again. You've received the text in the group chat from Manny going to his house. You know you need to go, and you're already late leaving as Dr. Moore kept you a little bit longer. And that's when you run smack dab into Luca, who seems to be staring off into the canals and talking to himself. And your phone that's in your hand, Xanthippe, goes sliding out from your hand and plunges right directly into the dark water.
Oh, shit. And she's gonna actually go to go to the water's edge. She's gonna try to reach in and grab the phone.
So, Luca, you see Xanthippe going to head towards the water where her phone just slid into.
Absolutely not. He'll run up and scream out 9 and grab her, probably more aggressively than he's grabbed anyone in a long, long while.
Okay, I have maybe potentially a couple of questions here.
Okay.
So
Maybe potentially a couple, sure.
how long have I been on the sugar cube at this point?
As we discussed in yours, you've slept maybe 3 hours in the last 8 days.
Okay,
You're eroding yourself. You are just not a child, so you have a little bit more stamina to you. But it will happen eventually. Xanthippe looks terrible. Huge bags under the eyes. Their skin is almost yellowish. Just no replenishing. Very dried out.
Her body's also trembling like a chihuahua.
Mm-hmm.
And you also just grabbed her forcefully. I think there's going to be a little bit of self-defense training kicking in here because I don't think she's fully aware. She's going to try to flip you.
So we want to flip Luca into the canal. Is that correct?
No, we want to flip Luca. I'm not actually aiming.
Well,
for
let's see what happens.
Hold on, wait. Hold on.
Well, let's see what happens. Physical conflict, any physical conflict. So you can add your desperation dice to this, Xanthippe, strength and athletics. Luca, you could roll me a wits and athletics, see if you can dodge out of the way.
3 10s. 2 of those are on desperation die. And then
Okay.
that's a 6. That's an 8. So that's what 2, 4, 5, 7 successes on a crit.
And no ones on the desperation dice.
No.
Your roll, Pesto?
Don't make me say it.
I need to know.
2.
2? Okay. So you pick up Luca and you've been fighting in the fighting pit in Kreutzberg for quite a while. You were doing it today. So you're completely limber and warmed up. So you pick him up and you flip him backwards right onto his back. You do not flip him into the canal. But Luca, you're going to take 5 points of superficial damage. You are going to sprain your back.
I'm impaired.
Mm-hmm. You're landing on hard concrete. And Xanthippe is very strong. And you're not the youngest man. You're not the springest chicken.
Been there, sis.
I think as she does that, she's almost going to kind of position herself over him as if she's going to coup de grace him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she falters. I think for a second she sees a flash of the white, and then blinks, and it's Luca, and she just kind of jumps back. Fuck! I'm so sorry. Fuck! And she's gonna offer her hand.
My God, it's like a Samson. He'll try to get up with his broken ass back now.
You can, but it's extremely painful. And you're hunched.
Yeah, we're gonna walk with a little bit of a hunch and a.
Well, you're not going to
rough
have to
spot
walk
now.
far. Xanthippe, you're going to try again to go for your cell phone?
I mean, I'm gonna make sure he's okay, but yeah, we kind of, it has all my contacts, all my information in it, and stuff like that.
9.
What? I kind of need that. I kind of need that.
It isn't safe.
And she's gonna look towards the water.
Mm-hmm. What's an awareness?
Anything? It's not a great roll for.
It's not a great roll for you. Luca, do you get near the water's edge?
I am getting nowhere near the fucking water. If
You're not
Xanthippe
getting
goes
anywhere near the
closer,
water.
then yes.
Okay.
If Xanthippe gets closer,
Roll a
then
wits
yes,
and awareness.
that's about it.
You need to roll higher then if you're not going to get near the water's edge, because you might see something really interesting.
2 successes on 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be 4 successes.
With 4 successes, and with your 2, you do see something, Xanthippe, when you look in the water. You see eyes, strange, bulbous, green eyes that peek out. It's almost like a giant frog, you think? But with 2 successes, you can't infer what happens next. 4 successes, though, Luca, you can. Whatever this thing is, well, as I said, you can only see its eyes peering up from the water. When it looks at Xanthippe, it's afraid. and very quickly it ducks down into the water and leaves.
What the fuck was that? What was that?
I don't know yet.
I'll buy a new phone. It's fine. Nothing matters, right? Okay.
And JJ, of course, you have everyone's phones tracked. Last time they were in your house. You know where they are, should you need to find them. You thought it was really cute, though, that Manfred dropped the pin. I mean, he dropped in the group chat, so maybe it was for everybody. But you are just checking to make sure everyone is moving in the direction that you're moving in. And you see that not only is Leoni hasn't answered the group chat, or apparently seemed to look at it yet. She's stationary in one place. And let me look where that place is really quick. Chausseestraße. And Xanthippe and Luca are also stationary in one place along the Havel River, which is like, you took 25 minutes hanging out with Bertrand while he slept, and they still haven't made it there yet. You know, Manny's gonna get testy.
I think JJ will pull up as close as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Roll down the window. No. What? Are you okay?
I'm fine, as fine as I can be. Luca, on the other hand, do you need help getting to the
No,
car?
it's fine. It's just God has gifted you with great strength, and for that you should be grateful.
What happened? Are you all right?
I accidentally may have flipped and hurt Luca. I'm so sorry. I saw.
We're behind schedule. If we could get in the van, I still have to pick up Leoni.
Yeah, no, of course. It's a ride would be appreciated. Walking hurts.
Oh, so honey, with my 1 dot in medicine and my working with the other little lifelike thin bloods, is it possible that JJ has like a back brace for the dumbasses that tried to use celerity and didn't realize
Roll me a
that
D10.
walls don't stop you? I got a 6.
I'll allow it.
I have a back brace. That should help until you can go to
Yeah, that would be appreciated.
where they fix your back. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, Bishop Meissner showed me how to put one of these on before.
And once everybody is seated and seat belted in, and we've checked that everything on the gauges is correct, then we go to where Leoni is, and JJ is going to send a message that says
to Leoni
"You
specifically.
Yeah, you haven't responded. Are you okay? You didn't come back yesterday.
It double checks, but it doesn't blue check. Leoni hasn't looked at it. And that's because, Leoni, you're working. You're in the Chausseestraße. You're in Cleopatra's. You work the day shift, and work has been going extremely well. Akua has been nothing but respectful and pays you generously and daily. When the sun goes down every day, he appears on the floor, seemingly out of nowhere, and you know that's your cue to leave. And he presses 300 euros into your hand, give or take, every day, plus whatever tips you received from the gamblers, and he sends you on your way. And so right now you're there, you're cleaning out one of the some of the ash that's gathered from some of the hookah. Now it's not super busy during the day, mostly you have gamblers, but sometimes if they do really well at the slots, they go and they celebrate with a little hookah. So you're cleaning out the ash, and you hear the door sort of jingle, and of course, you know, greet people, be friendly. They might want a drink right away, and you let them know that you'll be down in a minute. And as you head down the stairs from where the hookah is on the second floor, you see JJ and Xanthippe. Not Luca, but that's because Luca can't walk right now.
Leoni, while working this past several days, has been been probably the happiest she's been in a while, even if it's just keeping it busy. Money also helps. So she, goes to the door. She has a bright smile on, a customer service smile on. But when she sees who it is, she kind of falters a little bit and it's almost startled. Oh, afternoon. What are y'all doing here? What are y'all doing here?
You didn't answer any of our messages.
But yeah, I'm working. I'm on the clock.
Oh,
That's actually much
JJ
better
Wits
than
and Streetwise.
JJ's still talking, just like, no.
Do I know this place? Like, which one is
that
this?
you got a job.
Which one is this place? Is this one of the places?
what sort of place is this?
It is
Don't
a
get hungrier.
Spielhalle and a hookah lounge. Spielhalle is the German word they use for like a place where you're allowed to gamble. Usually it's just slots. And at the moment it's just slots, but you can tell just from being in here that there is expansion happening next door to it be a full functioning gambling business.
Do they serve coffee here? Is there like a little...
By the way, the person who is purchasing the second building over is Wait Enterprises. It says so on the signs. For it. And you're asked if there's coffee here? No, there is not.
Okay.
There's booze, which you can drink at any time of the day or night in Germany. 4 successes, yes, you know that this is owned by one of the Hikata. You don't know enough about the Hikata to know any specifics about it, but you know it's owned by one of them.
I mean, it's good that you found the gainful employment, and that you look a lot happier. Honestly, I was worried that that's not what you were doing here, but we won't get into that. This is a professional. I should stop talking. You know who you work for, right?
I do.
Okay.
This place seems nice. Wait, what?
Okay. All right. So would you? You can't ask him if you could take an extended lunch. No.
I would.
But you
if he
can't.
was right.
The bartender, and who's also functioning as the bar back today, as Akua doesn't necessarily understand how many people he needs during the day. He's not a business guy, which should be obvious to you, Leoni, that he's not even purchasing the business next door. Someone else is for him. But his name is Yosef, and he comes up the stairs carrying some triple sec. And he says, Leoni, alles klar? Everything clear? Or everything okay?
Yeah, everything's good. Is it okay? Listen, I know you're not like my boss, but is it okay if I take an extended lunch just for like an hour and a half, maybe?
I have to I have to tell the boss man when he comes back, you know.
Of course. And if that affects pay, then it is what it is.
I highly doubt it, but you'll owe me. Honestly, the boss man doesn't really understand what money is, I don't think. That's the way rich people are, I'm sure.
Right. But she kind of like playfully narrows her eyes, like, what would I owe you?
Oh, you definitely have to cover some shifts for me in the future. Sometimes I have to work nights.
She was like about to just be like, oh yeah, that's fine, and then thinks about it for a moment. She's like, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay, then I'll see you later.
Sweet, thank you. And,
Sure.
I'll turn back to Leoni, or I'm Leoni, well, to JJ and Xanthopy, and be like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm ready. I'm ready to roll. Yeah.
Do you need pay covered? Because I can do that. I can just leave it in your room, or
Oh no, it should be fine. He's very generous.
I bet. That sounds exactly like them.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to put a pin in that.
Yes, we're late, and if Manny texts again, we know that things are bad.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put a couple of pins in things because also you're going to have to find out what that fish thing was in the canals. But we don't have time for that right now because you all have to go to Manny's house. It's weird. It's like there's a bunch of stuff happening in Berlin all at the same time. Manny, they are late. They are exceptionally late. You've paced around your manor home for quite a bit. You've attempted to check in on Ilva, but she's still busy, and when she's busy, she keeps the door locked. So you've done the only thing that you can think to do in this moment, and you've cooked. You enjoy cooking. It's something that calms you, that relaxes you, and considering they are so very late, you're going to take all the time that you need to cook something truly wonderful, truly delicious. What would that dish be?
I think that Manny goes out to the root cellar and grabs a clay jug of kimchi that he's been making for a few months. He's going to go to the refrigerator and pull out the flat cut beef ribs that he is going to be using to make some galbi beef ribs, and we're gonna make some rice, and then that rice is going to go into the refrigerator as he pulls out the rice that he made last night to make fried rice with, and he's gonna make kimchi fried rice and galbi ribs with some maybe mango kale smoothies, and just for funsies, we'll pull out the mochi that he's been working on making as desserts from the freezer and let them naturally rise to room temperature.
So you're working on all of that, and that takes a significant amount of time. Eventually, as you're nearing the end of the cooking of the beef ribs, you do hear someone enter into the kitchen, and it is Ilva. She has gotten dressed at this point, and she's carrying the sugar cube in her hand, and she has split it in half, but she looks disappointed and also confused. And she says, everything smells wonderful in here, Manny.
Thank you. I've been working on this recipe for quite a long time. Will you hand me the bean sprouts from the counter over there, please?
And she puts the sugar cube down that's on a tray, and she hands them to you. I just wanted to let you know that I tried everything I could to work on the sugar cube. It's like it's resistant to me. I could try to work my will over it, but it's not really my specialty. I really don't know what will hurt it.
I don't think you really need to. He'll just kind of on his phone pull up the blog thing that was about the sugar cubes and hand it to her while he's running some finishing touches, getting the bean sprouts, putting the scallions on things. I think it's more of where it says in there that he was looking at it and seeing sort of Rorschachs and hearing music that he'd never heard and things with these sugar cubes. I think perhaps we might be looking at something that is a little bit more personal to the human condition.
She reads through the blog post as you're talking, and then she makes a strange face. Manfred, there's a van at your gate.
Oh, you can buzz them in. Those are the other hunters that I've been working with.
Ah, right. Yes. I shouldn't be here, I think. Probably not.
You can stay in your office if you want.
Yes. And maybe we don't mention me.
Unless they need something from you. And if any of them try and pull any shit, I will kill all of them.
She looks at the cameras again. She's about to hit the button on your phone to buzz them in. One of them is writhing around in the back. Is that normal?
I don't think these people have ever known a day of normalcy in their life, so perhaps for them, but what is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly.
Well, I'll at least be polite and greet them, and then I will leave and we don't mention anything about me.
Sure.
And she buzzes you in, and JJ, she never turned the sound on to hear what you were saying. So what were you saying at the gate?
I understand we're late, Mandy. You don't have to just keep us waiting. I do apologize. I had to go pick everyone up. You told me not to text you and I'm respecting that. Thank you.
You drive up, and all of you realize that Manfred is extremely wealthy, and not like new money wealthy, but like old money wealthy. This is a very old manor home that is astounding to look at, honestly. It's like something you would see out of a magazine for architects or something. Symbols on his gate are strange. You don't recognize them. They're not from anything that they don't represent any language or culture that you're familiar with. And he has a circular drive that you pull into. You see one of his very nice cars is here, one of his Porsches. It's pulled up to the front. And who's going to help Luca out of the car? Because Luca can't walk.
I think he would struggle to do it himself. I think the defining sin of Luca is his pride.
Perfect. So all of you head up to the door, Luca moaning and groaning with every hard-earned step that he takes. And the person who opens the door is not Manfred. It is a young, very petite, short woman who looks very similarly, JJ, to Bertrand, who all of you met at the market. Looks just as similar to her sister, except she doesn't have a cloudy eye, and her hair is short. She smiles, maybe a little uneasily, and she says, welcome, friends of Manfred. I'm Ilva. He's in the kitchen.
It's very nice to meet you, Ilva. We haven't heard much about you.
That's good. I'm glad.
Hello, I'm Zan.
Hello.
Oh, JJ. And JJ will like reach out a hand.
She takes it, and as soon as she takes it, she retracts. Eyes narrow.
In order to break this awkward silence, Leoni.
She takes your hand. She does not retract from it. She doesn't retract from Zan's either, but she does look at you, Luca. You're injured.
Yeah, it was I had a small accident on the way here.
Please, everyone come in. Manny's in the kitchen. I might have something to help you. Is it Pfarrer or Pastor?
I have no preference anymore. It is whatever makes you comfortable, my dear.
All right. Please. And she sort of steps away from this extremely large double door set here, heavy wood, and you watch her hurry up the large staircase. All of you can enter into the kitchen area. That is massive, maybe the biggest kitchen you've ever seen in Germany, a place of small kitchens. This looks like a place where you could do maybe 150, 200 person catering in this kitchen. And Manny is hard at work. He looks like he's cooked up quite a spectacular dish for you all, and he's laying out plates and plating. You see your cell enter. Luca is hobbling at best.
Did you just get crippled over the course of a few days? I leave you for a few days and you come to my house hobbling.
Do you know the story of Samson?
That is the weird guy who cut his hair and cried because he wasn't strong anymore, yes?
I think I have met her in real life.
I may have had a reaction, and may have accidentally harmed.
Your hair's not even that long.
It used to be, but I don't think that's either here nor there. I will say, the last time Xanthopy was in a manor home, it was not great, so she is even more tense.
I mean, Zan, honestly, it's not that impressive.
Okay.
This is really no different than how you grew up.
Okay.
There's no servants here, which is maybe the weird thing for you. like a person who lives here opened the door. That's really weird.
Right. How was all of your days off? I hope you've considered the last thing I said to you about getting your act together, or I'm not doing this with you anymore.
Things are fine. You know, got a job. That's why I'm late. Sorry about that.
Well, to be fair, you're all late, so the onus can't be entirely on you.
I mean, it was kind of... Yeah, sure. I appreciate
But
that.
I'm also not finished cooking, so it's not like it matters that much.
I just got out of therapy, and
You should
Yeah.
go to that place more.
Hey, quick question on this, and we can put a pin in this as needed. Magic's real too, right?
Already putting a pin in it?
As you say magic is real, you all realize that Ilva was coming down the stairs and sort of stop short as you say that. And she looks at you, Manny, nervously as she overhears that.
And you'll just wave her down.
I don't know your name. Please drink this. I hope you like the taste of gooseberries. This should help you.
Danke. Apologies. Luca Wolfenberger.
Luca. Don't mind that it's in a vial. It's not drugs.
That was the most of my concerns, my dear. Then it would be an odd day, indeed.
Do you drink it?
What the fuck else is he gonna do? Absolutely.
It's good, it's sweet, it's cold, even though the vial's not cold. And you may remove 3 points of superficial damage.
What a fucking angel.
And she goes over and she kisses you, Manny, on the cheek, and she says, "Save me a plate for later."
Oh, here, you can. We're just missing the mochis.
And
You
she
could take it to your
she
office?
sort of makes a grimace. Later, maybe when I'm feeling a little better.
Understood. I will wrap you up a plate and I will leave it in the refrigerator. I think we probably have somewhere to be in the relative shortness of time, so we might not be here when you're done working into your office.
She turns your head fully, kisses you, and she leaves without saying another word.
Kind of slide into a chair.
Likewise.
Yes, everyone sit, say what you need to say. You know, I'm sorry, Manny, for upsetting you the other day. I'm just kidding.
Your wife has a...
There were two things that both of them said alarmed me very much. One is she is not my wife. Yet.
your girlfriend has a
Two,
way with medicine.
she is a doctor. So this is good. What were you saying, JJ?
I was just saying that are you joking because you were rather upset before you left.
If I would have left you sitting in your van at the gate, then you would know that I would have been angry. But I let you into my house, so we are okay.
Yeah, so and then you didn't respond when I asked you what the protocol was. If you text us, can we text you back? Because you said never to text you. So
I
I'm
would
fine
prefer that you didn't, but you know where I live now, so you could just knock at the gate and maybe come inside. I don't like to do the conversationing on the phones. It's too easy for people to find them and take all of your data.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
secure.
no.
Correct.
With that, JJ sits knowing that's like a little sheepishly, just like, yeah, no, that's safe.
Yeah.
Ish.
Well, mine's not going to matter anymore anyways. I lost mine into the river.
If I could throw my phone in the river and still, be able to communicate with my work, I would.
So, as everybody sits down and waits, and now it's your turn to wait since you made Manny wait to finish his meal, and he's going to plate it up for you. We're going to have our break here. So we're back. We've had our little bio break. You're all in Manny's house. You've eaten Manny's delicious cooking. Manny, You've talked to the cell about everything you've learned. You've handed out your handouts that you printed out of the blog post, so you all have those and you can read. Print out of the book as well about changelings and Cathane and all that information. Of course, as previously discussed, there is nothing in here about how to hurt a changeling. Like if they have some sort of special weakness, for example. Manny, can you roll me a wits and awareness, please, very quickly?
No successes.
Okay, then you don't notice right now. So that is all the information laid out for you as you all finish your meal, and Manny sort of waits for you to have a reaction or no reaction to all of this information that he painstakingly found.
Okay. So this puts some clarity on what's happening to me and what is happening to Halcyon. This is lovely.
Yeah, but no information on how to combat it at all.
Yeah, how does one take and get rid of Glam? And Jay's just kind of reading over the article again. Solidified glamour.
I've run multiple tests, but I can't find anything to truly disseminate it.
Is there anything that you could test on me? Anything you can do with me?
We
Since-
don't have that kind of time.
The mention of Halcyon. Can everyone roll me another wits and insight, please? So you all have Halcyon's number. You've all texted him. Maybe not Manny, but all of you have texted him at least at one point in the last 6 weeks. And you have received responses.
Arouse the blood.
2 successes on 2 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking 1 success.
Only Manny could add desperation dice to this.
Three successes.
Please don't be an onk. Please. Oh, thank God. Okay, 3 successes. I thought it was a messy. It's not. We're good. Everything's fine.
Leoni, what is yours?
Oh, 1. Sorry.
Everyone may restore their willpower, by the way, after eating Manny's delicious food. Manny, what did you roll?
For me.
Like all of it?
Yes.
I am trying to decide if I want to spend the willpower here or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sitting
I'll
on...
allow a free use of a willpower spend. We'll say you eat the mochi as well later.
Oh, well, in that case.
I,
3 successes now.
Okay.
I'm sitting on 4, but I also have a teeth hanging, so a 1. On desperation.
Okay, so you can't re-roll desperation. So no matter what you roll, the desperation remains.
Super cool.
Super cool.
Alright, I will try. I will spend the willpower. That does net me 2 more, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes with a 1 on the desperation dice.
So, mention of Halcyon, Manny, it dawns on you, and you begin looking through your phone. You see the one time that you message Halcyon asking if he is okay, and he just responded that he's doing fine. And you ask JJ and everyone to check your messages with Halcyon. And you look at them. They pull up the message threads for all of their different conversations. Maybe JJ has spoken to him the most. And you see a strange pattern in the writing here. You didn't spend a whole lot of time with Halcyon, but you know that he was recovering. He was someone who was very deep and introspective in his thoughts and the way that he spoke. And you see that all of these responses from anything that is asked of Halcyon is very, dare I say it, almost AI generated. It doesn't seem to be from him. And with that, you get irritated at the idea that someone you were supposed to help might already be gone. That you were there and you could have helped, and he might not be here anymore. Someone has taken his phone at the very least and is using it to trick all of you into believing that he's still here. And without thinking about it, you grab onto your phone and you message Halcyon and you say, I know that this isn't you. And the danger increases to 2. And all of you watch Manny do this.
What are you doing?
What's going on?
It's not him.
How can you tell?
It's all in the syntax and the word usage and knowing who he is and what he's about. Someone has taken him.
Then we have to go save him. We have to go check. We have to go see for ourselves.
Who rolled 3 wits and insight? You can see that when Manny says someone has taken him, that there is a crack in his voice. It upsets him on a personal level that you don't necessarily understand the context of.
What's going on, Manny?
My sister was kidnapped several years ago. We never found her body.
I'm sorry.
Where did this happen?
Yeah, I mean, it happened here in the city. That's why I never really took a position anywhere else. I was hoping, I guess, that one day she would just walk out of the fog. Like nothing had ever happened.
What did she look like? What does she look like?
Beautiful. Tall and raven hair and the most beautiful green eyes. She looked just like our mother.
From JJ's perspective, when people disappear, it's usually something to do with that goddamn alleyway. Is there anybody that would match that description that JJ's seen that
Unfortunately, without a picture, no. Manny, do you have such a picture of your sister?
There is a painting of the two of them and their mother in the sitting room.
If you take your cell out of the kitchen, leave the dishes here, which again, that'd be weird. No one cleared the table. There's no one here to do dishes. No servants. You take them into the sitting room. You see this large oil painting of Manny when he was much younger and his sister and his mother. They do look extremely similar, but no, JJ, you've never seen anyone like that on the streets of Berlin.
I'm not sure if this is a comfort or not, Manny, but I haven't seen her in any of the places I've been.
I think it's probably something worse than that. He'll pull the ring on the necklace out of his collar. This was Katarina's ring, and sometimes when we are close to things, I feel them. I know sometimes I can pick them out of a crowd, sometimes I can't. But when we were around Halcyon, it was laughing in my ear.
When Manny pulls out the necklace, JJ does take a couple steps back based on what happened, but that's a lead. That's something.
Yeah, could there be something at that apartment then, maybe?
A very poignant question to ask. Do you walk near Xanthippe with that ring?
I don't think so. I mean, if we're all standing close, if Xanthippe wants to get a closer look at it, maybe. I mean, he certainly isn't pressing the issue at the moment.
You don't. You know that Xanthippe took a sugar cube the way Halcyon took a sugar cube. You don't feel anything. You don't hear anything.
I assumed it was because our artist friend had taken a sugar cube, but now I'm thinking there was something close by, and I didn't find it. I missed something.
Did you want to go back to the building? Again, we could, whenever we can, but
Did you talk to somebody else? Like when, because you were out in the hall.
There was a nice old lady down the hall, but nothing happened with her. She was very sweet.
Okay.
did
But
it happen?
But your ring or something happened, and that was
It
the
was
only person you
quiet.
interacted with.
It was quiet in her presence. It was laughing when we were in Halcyon's apartment.
I see.
Hmm.
I don't know. Something's not. That doesn't sit right with me.
We told Halcyon that we would meet him at the spray park.
Yeah.
That's our next lead. We can I'd maybe go back, see if anybody knows where that is, and
I know where it is.
Oh, you do?
there we go.
My
Perfect.
girlfriend is pregnant. I can't die doing this. You understand?
Oh, congratulations.
I wouldn't quite yet. I could die today, and then it would very much not be a congratulations.
Perhaps you should remain behind in many.
No, he was a good person. Halcyon. He deserves better. I should have been more vigilant. I should have noticed this quicker.
This
I'm going-
Manny, can you roll me Wits Academics, add your Desperation dice again? Let's see if you roll another one. She said,
Sorry.
her
Assuming I
Hmm?
don't get my extra dice for specialty in statistical mechanics.
No. You're gonna regret picking that as a specialty. You said that you didn't hear it in the old woman's presence.
This is an absolutely massive dice pool for me.
Brother, you gotta roll faster. My fingers can only wiggle for so long. It feels weird now.
I'm feeling the same way.
But if I do it, does it help?
Rachel's fingers are doing the worm right now. You gotta
So
roll.
it's crit on one of my desperation dice. No ones.
Mhm.
Total successes is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'd like you to read the second paragraph of the handout that you handed everyone from the booklet, from the textbook.
Hold on, I have to find it again.
Well, I can read it to you. They are not mortals touched by fairy magic, nor are they fairies pretending to be human. They're both. This dual nature defines their existence. The mortal seeming is a necessary mask to survive in a world grown mundane, while their fey mean reflects their true essence, visible only to those attuned to see it, or who they deem worthy to see it. The person that you saw in this apartment was human-looking. Completely so. Now, either she was indeed this changeling, and she is just powerful enough to have hidden her fairy self from you, so much so that your ring couldn't detect it, or she knew that you had it, and she heard voices herself, and hid her fey mean from you.
It certainly leaves two options. Either this woman is the changeling and was old and powerful enough to hide herself from me, or she was the one who took Katarina and knew that I had the ring and could hear it.
Was
Maybe.
Katarina, like, artistically gifted in some way?
She was a violinist, a prodigy.
Yeah, okay. Well, according to this, and I'll kind of wave one of the handouts that lines up with what they do. These changelings.
I was
It
supposed
warrants-
to walk her home from her rehearsal the day she disappeared.
This is why. because it's just people doing things and these creatures just doing what they want.
This has to
Pisses
stop.
me off. Pisses me off. Either way, this warrants an investigation. This warrants seeing deeper in.
We'll have to decide where we're going.
I think we should go to the source. I mean, given that you just messaged, they're probably not at the apartment anymore.
The message that you receive eventually, Manfred, is, "Boo, you're no fun."
Do you think there's a reason that Halcyon has to meet them at the old park?
I mean, if that's where this thing is handing out these sugar cubes, and if he's connected to them in some way, that it stands to reason that, yeah, I mean, he probably is. So either under their control or he has motive to be around them.
I'm curious how many are giving out these sugar cubes.
Apparently, it's not just an issue here in Berlin. Seems to be something that they do.
No, but there's a big gap that I found between any reports and what is happening here. It could be the same creature.
This came all the way out here.
It's very unlikely, but compared to what I know about the stats, people are willing to believe a little bit more in fairies and things here. It could have been a relocation for survival's sake. I don't know much about this Myrtle Beach place, but there might be like something that could make enough glamour to keep them there, but I'm not sure.
We should also be very careful because we're talking about dreams and creativity, and we're going to a theme park meant for, what's the term? Whimsy. Might not just be the one.
You think this could be a haven for them?
Please don't use that word.
Why?
Cultural thing.
Is that the word vampires? Yes.
Mhm.
This is Manny Pilata's notebook.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Leoni,
to
for your
know.
edification, you know that the Spreepark is a place for artists, that the sort of the punks and the unhoused and sort of the bohemian aspects of Berlin, they spend a lot of time there, graffiti work and types of sort of existential art, things of that nature, avant-garde things.
I mean, that's where that's where all the artists go to get inspiration. That's where, it's like a fucking abandoned Disney World for people in the underground.
Doesn't matter how many out there then.
How armed do we want to be going into this?
I don't even know what hurts them.
I have a bunch of things in the van. I don't know. I'm going to
Did
be
you pull some
honest.
stuff from the armory
I'm-
that we set up?
Yes, that's the point. I made sure to put it in the logbook. Everything is in order with the paperwork. However, I don't know what can help them. The only thing I brought is my flamethrower, the provisions you provided. I also, and knowing that Ilva is upstairs, just very quietly says, and some silver bullets. There's not a lot of them though.
Fire.
Most things don't survive flame. But
I'm-
who knows? I've never tried to set a fairy on fire. That is an upsetting sentence for me personally, just so you're aware. I hate this conversation.
Could I roll intelligence and occult to see if I've read up on any just kind of like vague folkloric, like anti-fairy nonsense.
You want someone to tell you cold iron? Yes, intelligence in the cold.
So that's 4 to desperation dice.
Yes. 7. Yeah.
I've already spoken too much today.
Yeah, sure.
You think back,
Sure.
and not necessarily something that you've read, because if it was something you've read, I would have provided you with the context. But you are extremely intelligent. You are a savant. You're a genius. You are a once-in-a-lifetime wunderkind, or maybe twice in a lifetime if you consider Ilva as well. With all of these things put here, you start looking at talking about banality and things that anything that takes the wonder out of a child's eyes, anything that removes growth and beauty and replaces it with the way buildings especially are built today, efficient and beauty free. You get the feeling that anything of that nature might harm a changeling. Anything that is static and in stasis, anything that's cold, anything that's perhaps built in a factory like iron would absolutely negate a changeling's power or possibly hurt them.
Anything mass-produced? Anything that sort of takes the creativity out of it? Maybe things that have been produced by machines?
My rifle.
Also, a bullet is a mass-produced item, for very much sure. There are also older stories about cold hammering iron. I will bring a bag of rice with me just in case. That is another old story. Throwing rice at their feet, they have to stop and pick it up and count it. There's also that one is also sometimes associated with vampires.
That is true. The only thing I have is with the Dutch Dutch oven and a brand new Instapot. That's all I have in the van. That is similar.
Worst case scenario, with the right equipment, you could turn an Instapot into a bomb.
I could, yes, quite easily. And then if we don't use it, Nanny, you can have it.
Do you think I use a fucking Instapot?
No, I don't want it though. I don't either. I don't know what to do with it at this point, and I
Make
spent
a
a lot
bomb
of
out of
money
it.
on it. Okay.
Well, I don't have anything, but I can at least get us there and maybe
Well,
get
we
us
have my
proud if need be.
With 7 successes, Manny, you would also have heard folk tales, at least Germanic folk tales, that fairies are very attracted to sweet things.
Yes, we could leave out some sweets. I have some extra mochis.
I do have some snacks and like drinks in the van too. Maybe.
Then we have all we need.
And Manny
should
will
cook
go
now.
over to the fireplace in the study and he will grab 2 fire pokers and put one in Leoni's hand and one in the good father's hand.
When Leoni and Luca, wits and awareness, please.
2.
1.
Leoni, you notice when the poker is handed to you, Manny's pockets sound like he has a bunch of glass in his pockets.
You packing glass in your pocket?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Your pockets are jingling. Not with change.
We'll turn a pocket out.
It seems that when Ilva kissed you in the kitchen, she slipped some things into your pockets. Pockets of your tweed coat. They are vials. Thin vials that she's bundled together. And as you examine them, there is 6 of them altogether, 2 of each. They're labeled for you. One says P, one says S, and one says M.
Manny will put one of the M's in
It's not piss.
piss shit man. Manny will put one of the M's in Xanthippy's pocket.
They're all completely clear. It looks like water.
You will put one of the S's into Leoni's pocket.
Thanks.
He'll put one of the P's into the good father's pocket, and then we'll put the final M into JJ's pocket. So he'll be left with one with a P on it and two with the S's.
Mm-hmm.
What are these?
That's a potion?
I don't know if I can.
It will make you feel better. The two M's are to bulk your mental fortitude and abilities. The S is for social things. The P is for physical. They only last about an hour, so I would be careful when you drink them.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'll keep it. I'll keep mine in my pocket.
Guess I'll drink when we get there.
I'm going to wait until you are all just a little bit away, just in case something happens.
Like throwing it up.
Sure. Yes, that's the worst thing that can happen. Yeah. No, I'll get the keys and put my dish in the sink.
I will get the dishes. This is my house and you're my guests. Go start your car.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, and JJ's gonna just kind of look around and head out to the van and grab the stuff that we talked about and get it ready for quick removal when we get there.
There is something that while we're walking to the van, if it's okay,
Mhm.
that I would like to say, JJ, Leoni, what do you both have some more experience in this realm of things than I do. I'm gonna be blunt. I was gonna say be bland. I'm gonna be blunt with this. I think my therapist is something. When my session was over, he was angry and turned back time.
So he's like a wizard?
I guess.
So, are you sure it wasn't a side effect of your cube experience?
I fucking guess, but then that would mean my whole session was a hallucination.
I mean,
Look,
that's
I'm gonna-
entirely possible.
I'm going to be real. I've taken a lot of things, and that I mean,
Dr. Moore was his name. Is his name.
sure. Yeah.
I've only been to the school counselor. I don't know.
Okay. Just something to think about in case it's connected to anything. I don't know. I thought it was worth bringing up.
Does it make you feel better if I just want a quick check on him and just?
Yeah. Especially because, this is government mandated. I have to go back to him.
What if we just paid for? No, that's a bad plan. That draws too much attention, and you honestly probably should be in the LP.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Luca, is there anything that you do in Manny's home, or do you walk out to the van as well?
I just have a request for JJ.
Okay, so you can have walked out and heard this conversation as well.
And if I could offer my services as well to you, Xanthopy. I'm not sure what your government mandate is, but I have skills with counseling services as well. Perhaps that might be an alternative. And I will hold the fireplace poker out to you, JJ, and say, I prefer fire. The Lord cleanses with fire, if you have such things.
Spit on the nose. Dear pastor.
Yeah, that's
There's quite literally a field guide for this?
Of course there is.
Yeah, you can have the flamethrower. I can't anyway. So,
Dankeschön.
yeah, it's point aim.
Cool. We're all going to a whimsical.
No, no, second. Manny, were you out here as well, or is there anything else you want to do in this house before we go? I'm not saying that because you won't be coming back here or anything.
Manny will sit for the first time, take his journal, and he will sit it down on the table in that sitting room. Looking at the last note that he made, and then looking between it and Katerina's photo, or not photo, but visage in the painting. Looking back to the last line in his journal, which simply notes, "Who is the Arcanium?" And looks up to Katerina and I'll just, "I'm sorry it took me this long, Kati." And then he will go to the drawer, and the only firearm in the house, it is old. It is damn near the first guns that weren't flintlock. And there's the same claw marks that are on the gate are engraved in the handle.
Okay.
He'll just turn it over in his hands. He's never looked in the clip, doesn't even really know if it's loaded. He doesn't do guns, that was never his thing. But he will walk out to the car with it.
All right. So you are prepared to go to the Spreewald and whatever waits for you there. Of course, Leoni, you lead the way. All of you know of it in a general kind of a way, but it's not easy to get to, not anymore, because it's not open anymore and hasn't been for many, many years. But Leoni knows the way, has, tripped at the Spreewald more than once, and I don't mean trip like took a trip, or maybe I do. And so when you do get there, you have to park sort of on the grass, JJ. You take the equipment that you're going to take, which is a flamethrower, a rifle, 2 iron pokers, a very, very old pistol, and JJ, what do you take? Silver bullets, I assume, go to
Sam.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go to Zan. We're gonna take the necessary equipment to maybe fuck with any remaining electricity in the fire in the park.
So a jammer?
I think we stood up. Yeah.
Okay. Jammer and your tablet. Father, how are you disguising your flamethrower?
Actually, I was gonna ask about that. Are there like blankets or something in the van to make it look like we're going on a nice, weird picnic?
Going on a weird picnic, yeah. Weird nighttime picnic, sure. So if you want, you may take the vomit-covered, the blanket that now has residual vomit on it from the shoes, and you may throw that over the pastel. And he'll
Yes.
just have to deal with the
Absolutely.
smell.
Yeah, like I said, Luca's primary sin is pride. This won't affect him at all.
Is
you
there
can-
a preference for?
Oh, so Zanstippy can have a case that can walk in, that can be innocuous enough. So, you all head into the Spreewald, which essentially where you get into it is where the street lights start to like disappear, like they don't bother put anymore, they haven't maintained these anymore, and where the sidewalk starts to sort of fracture because they haven't maintained it. There's no formal entrance, it's just a rusted gate with no fence attached, leaning against a crumbling wall. There's layers of graffiti that stretch back decades, and there's always like a wet layer on top of it, even when it hasn't rained, because there's so many artists that just come through here and put their own mark over the other. Once you all get inside, the air feels weirdly thick. The humidity here feels a little bit unnatural, maybe because of the pollen and the rot and the spray paint fumes, you're not sure. There's narrow footpaths that coil through willow groves and over footbridges built from scavenged construction planks. There's artists here with drums and spray cans dragging tarps and crates and bottles. There's punks with cheap beer and lit fires and steel barrels. You can see what looks like a chapel made from broken scaffolding and traffic signs. Beside it is a treehouse full of shattered TV sets. And on the ground is a young woman with thick braids and a spring in her step, flitting from the groups that have already arrived or who squat here in the park, smiling and talking sweetly at them. Xanthippe, you recognize her, and JJ, you recognize her as well.
That would be her.
Yeah, that's the one.
We should probably clear out all the people.
You said you knew a spot where I could set up.
Yeah, and I'll look up. I'll look around.
Treehouse is a good spot. Not a lot of people hang out there.
Up there.
I'll find a moment and kind of just separate myself. That being said, oh my god, actually, on the way, could we have picked up like a burner phone or something for Zan in case we need communication?
I'm sure that JJ has many, yeah. So yes, you have burner phone. You can get on this tree, strength and athletics. Or rather dexterity and athletics, let's do that. Luca, what is your plan? You're concealing a flamethrower and you see this young woman that JJ and Xanthippe have pointed out as this Nastinka person, the person with the sugar cubes. You don't see any sugar cubes on her, but you see that she is going from sort of group to group of artists and punks and the unhoused here, and she seems to be talking and smiling at them. She has a big... She's almost, it's odd, she's almost dough-like in the way that she bounces from place to place.
Luca has no plan. Luca...
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll be real with you. Luca just... with everything going on, Luca wants to burn her.
All right, we love a fiery pastor. Your roll, Xanthippe.
5 successes on a crit.
Easy. You get up into that tree, you set yourself upright, and you can see everything through your scope, and you wait, I suppose, for a signal from someone.
What I would like to do, I want to clear all the civilians out. So what I'd like to do is kind of go from group to group. Like I'll go to a group that looks the most agreeable at first.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to essentially warn them that maybe the cops are coming to raid this place for
Sure.
drugs. And I want the rumor mill to start spinning.
Sure, you may make me manipulation and subterfuge rolls. Make me 3 of those rolls. Give me your total cumulative successes, please. JJ, what's your plan?
JJ's gonna go be the distraction and have the jammer set up so that once we get towards the park, everything shuts off. And it's basically gonna...
Okay,
You know,
so I'm going to let you know
Prostica.
that there is no electricity that you can tell that is running here.
It's mainly phones if something goes bad and
Understood.
people... Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
you may make me a wits and technology roll. Manny, what is your plan? Luca is in a waiting position, waiting to burn this entire place to the ground. Xanthippe is also in a holding position, waiting for a signal. She's aimed directly at Nastinka. What is your plan?
Manny would like to sense the unnatural and make sure this is the only quarry that we have here, that there are not more.
You may make me that roll. 6. You can definitely jam any signals, but that means that, Xanthippe, you can't receive any signal from your phone, so you're going to have to pay attention to what everyone's doing on the ground.
Critical for 5.
Okay. And Leoni, your cumulative rolls.
That would be an 11 with the third one critting.
Okay. Did you add your desperation dice to that?
No, let me do that. Oh,
Roll me 12 extra dice to that.
it's all desperation?
That's all your desperation, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Desperation are added, not replaced.
Okay. So it's 11 plus 3, which is...
That's so many dice.
Yeah, I got 1 exclamation point so far.
Mm-hmm. Just one?
Just 1 so far.
Okay.
So I rolled 6, so 6 more. Okay. Yeah, okay. Math is really hard. Someone hold on to 14 for me, please.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Avery. Avery's the math gay.
That's 2 exclamation points now.
Hey,
Doing really good.
what kind of gay isn't Avery? That's the better question.
Avery's a Library of Alexandria
Positive.
gay.
I did it. I did. That was 12.
Okay.
You don't want to say funny shit like that. It's pride. Sorry, Leon. Go ahead.
My bad.
I rolled up the dice. We're at 14 successes in total with everything. 2 exclamation points from the desperation dice.
Excellent. Manny, your roll, please.
I already gave it to you. 5 critical.
5 critical. Mm-hmm. You were trying to determine if there was any other changelings here. Is that correct?
It doesn't necessarily work that way. Any other
Supernaturals?
supernaturals? Yes.
Yes. You see Nastinka here, but you get a tingling to your back. There's another one nearby, but not close enough that you think you can see it with the naked eye.
Manny will just very quickly text the group chat.
You can't.
There's... Fuck.
JJ has jammed all the signals.
Well, shit.
But you know that, and that's what's important.
Reed Richards is not pleased by this.
Leoni, yes, with 14 successes, you can very easily flit from group to group. You're sort of maintaining a distance from Nastinka, 1 to 2 groups behind her as she's going and talking to them. But when you get to the last one, they're belligerent. They're drunk. They recognize you. You recognize them. They're former drug buddies of yours. They try to pull you into their lap. They try to offer you drugs and booze and stuff, and you lose your patience with this. And you scream at the top of your lungs. What would you like to scream at them to get them to fucking leave this park? Lose your cool, let's say.
Oh god, this is gonna be very rude. I'm so sorry.
Not gonna hurt my feelings.
Listen, you junkie motherfuckers, the cops are coming. If you don't get the fuck out of here, we're all going to prison, and no one wants that. So fuck off.
And all of you hear Leoni start screaming this, and of course Nastinka hears it too. And she turns and she looks at all of you. Now, Xanthippe, you hear this. You hear Leoni screaming, and you don't know if this is the signal or not. Are you going to take the shot or not?
No, I'm not going to take the shot because this is one of an outburst. This is not, no, she wouldn't have taken a shot at this.
All right. Father, are you going to attempt to burn Nastinka? She's not that close to you. You'd have to sort of run up at her, and there are people here. Are you going to attempt to make that call? Gonna burn a whole bunch of perhaps innocent punks, if you consider punks innocent?
They're just misguided. I will bring them forward light later.
Sure.
But no, he's going to wait still, and his goal is Nastinka, and if she tries to flee or run, he's going to try to block her way off with flames. That is the only time he'll look to, shoot force.
I forgot a thing I wanted to do, and that was just to down the vial.
You may. Mentals, right? You may add a temporary extra dot to all of your mental attributes.
Thank you.
Okay.
May I also down mine while I'm up there in the treehouse?
Yep, you may add an extra dot to all of your mental attributes. So, no one takes the shot. Nastinka sees what's happening. She sees the people fleeing. The punks, however, didn't flee immediately. And you don't understand what she does exactly. But she reaches into her, you think her chest pocket, or reaches underneath her clothes. She pulls something out, and she throws it at these punks.
Does this happen to be the group I'm next to as well?
It is.
Cool, alright.
And what's odder than that is, Xanthippe, you see this dust flying up towards you. It goes into your nose without you being able to stop it. And for the moment anyway, I need you to roll me a stamina and a cult roll.
Surprisingly, that's actually a good dice pool for me.
The punks, Leoni, you watch their eyes turn to strange colors, almost like a shimmering black to silver to gold to pinks and purples, while it looks like their eyes turn into cotton candy.
I'm going to burn a willpower.
They pull out knives, and they go right for you. You may make me a wits and athletics, or dex and athletics, whichever is higher for you, to get out of the way fast enough. And Manny, Luca, and JJ, I will allow you to act when you see this?
7 crit.
That is enough to not immediately shoot Leoni, but you are going to be in a daze as you fight whatever this thing is. And as long as Nastinka is still standing, you'll have to keep fighting it.
3 successes.
It's not quite enough. I rolled 6 successes for them to stab you. Luca, Manny, and JJ, what are you doing? Starting with Luca.
We burn the witch.
Okay, so here's the scenario. Leoni is standing right by these punks. They had pulled her into her lap and she started screaming at them. Yes? Now Stinka saw this, she turned around, she did something, she threw dust, sand into the air, and then they all pulled out knives and they're going to stab Leoni. You start burning them, you're going to burn Leoni. That's a decision you can make, I'll allow it. But I want you to have the full scene before you do so. And you notice that Xanthippe is like, it looks like she's trying to swat a fly away or something. She can't be of use to you right now.
I instead, how close am I to Leoni and these cotton candy punks?
Less than 10 feet away.
Sick. I will move to Leoni and activate Repel the Unnatural.
Alright, you make that roll. Manfred, what are you doing?
Manfred's gonna drink the S vial.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll line up a shot with this gun that he's never shot in his life.
Alright, so composure and firearms.
May I add my desperation dice to this heading?
Yes. JJ, what are you doing?
So JJ had signaled for the shot, basically lifted up, put the fingers up, and
You see
Zan does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that
And
you can tell something's happened to Zan.
Yeah, and then is gonna try and get between Leoni and the punks because JJ can take a knife to the chest and Leoni can't.
Alright. Dex athletics. Terrible roll for you. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Father, you're
Rousing the blood.
Yeah.
That is 6 successes.
And you're using this on the punks, is that correct?
Repel the Unnatural is a... Where the fuck is it? I'm having a stroke. I believe it's just a...
Are you using it on the punks?
It's whatever unnatural is in the area.
Okay. The punks are not supernatural creatures in any way, shape, or form.
Mad unfortunate.
Mad unfortunate. But it's now very good that you know this. So you step forward, try and invoke the power of your faith, of your god, and it doesn't work. And what that tells you is it's not going to work because this is something Nastinka is doing to them, not something that they're doing of their own volition. Manny, your roll.
6 successes critical.
You shoot the one closest to Leoni. That's still...
I was shooting at Nastinka.
You're shooting Nastinka. Alright, that will force her to recheck her ability. It's not going to stop Leoni from getting stabbed. Let me get that appropriate amount of dice back. That will force a recheck. She still rolled 5 successes on it though, so she's fine. You shoot her and it hurts. You don't have the silver bullets. Zan does, not that that would matter. It hurts and she screams and she cries and she begins to run. JJ.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes, you step in front of Leoni. You're going to take 2 of the stab wounds. And Leoni, you're going to get stabbed in the arm. JJ, you're going to take 6 points of superficial damage. These are not regular knives. These are obviously knives given to them by Nastinka. Are you an ag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Leoni, you're going to take 4 points of superficial damage. As it digs deeply into your muscle. It's painful. And he pulls it out. It's always dangerous with a bleeding wound. What's the action now, Luca? Nastinka's running away. Oh, I'm sorry, Zan. Stamina and occult again, please.
6 successes.
6 successes. God, finally. That's enough for you to break away from that, since she only rolled 5 on her recheck. So you clear your eyes. Whatever she's doing is not messing with you anymore, but you see that JJ's been stabbed and Leoni has been stabbed. What is your action?
There's a moment where she sees Nastinka running away, and she's gritting her teeth, but...
You can shoot her. You don't have to help Leoni and JJ. That's entirely up to you.
We're gonna shoot. We're gonna take a shot at Nastinka.
Composure and
Because
firearms,
there's a-
add your desperation dice to the roll.
That's a lot of dice, y'all.
JJ, you're surrounded by a lot of blood. Leoni is bleeding profusely, and these men are going to keep shooting. I need you to make me a hunger frenzy check. That is your unspent willpower plus 2 dice for your humanity. Luca, is there anything that you'd like to do?
Fucking a lot.
Well, would you like to quantify exactly what it is that you'd like to do? Or qualify, rather.
How many of these
I'd like to
cotton
pontificate
candy-
upon it.
How many of these cotton candy punks are there?
There's 3.
Okay.
JJ just took 2 stab wounds like a champ.
Christ. Okay.
Because, and JJ's wounds are bleeding, but JJ seems okay.
Does JJ look? Is there any
JJ.
alarm bells? that
JJ just looks like JJ just rolled 2 successes on so many dice.
Okay, well you're trying to assess, is JJ okay? And JJ chomps down into one of these punks and begins drinking his blood. You can maybe roll me another willpower to see if you kill him or not. Might be your first kill. What would you like to do, Luca? I'll ask again. Last time I'm gonna ask.
I'm gonna burn Nastinka.
I also have baby fangs. I don't have fangs. So this is real brutal for this gentleman.
Yep.
That's a 10 on the one that dropped, so that's something. Maybe that's... Oh, I got 3 successes. Got 3.
3 successes is, you're a 2 hunger, right?
Yeah.
3 successes is enough for you not to freak the fuck out and drink all of him, but you sort of latch onto him like a spider monkey and begin gnawing into his neck. And he starts freaking out. The other 2 start freaking out as well. Luca goes after Nastinka, however, with chasing after her with a flamethrower. Wits and athletics to keep up with her as she's zigzagging. Luca. Manfred, what are you doing? You see Leoni backing away from this. She's been severely wounded. And you see JJ feeding. You're witnessing a vampire feeding. But not well, because there's no fangs.
And I didn't bring my
Notebook? Nope.
It's okay. All right. I think Manfred will move up to where Leoni is. And then one of these punks that's probably about to stab JJ in the back is going to catch a bullet to the brain pan.
Okay, make me another composure firearms or dex firearms if you're moving and doing this.
Once he gets up to Leoni, he's going to stop and line up a shot.
Composure
so
firearms.
I can use composure.
Zan, your roll, please. I can't hear you.
This is why you brought me here. 10 successes, crit.
Yeah. You're chasing after Nastinka, Luca, but you hear a shot ring out. Nastinka falls. And we're going to pause that particular scene for 1 second. For no reason. Manfred. Your roll? 3. Shoot him in the head, and just as you're doing so, you watch that light fade from his eyes and he returns to consciousness, but then it's lights out permanently for him. You have killed another human being, you realize. As he falls and he dies, and it crumples, rolls up like a window shade to the ground. JJ, you have bit into this man so severely and you've drank some, you remove yourself to 1 hunger, but he is going to bleed out and die from this wound that you have opened up that you cannot close. It was not made by fangs. Leoni, you're bleeding pretty severely. The blood is running down your arm, down your leg and your side. You're not sure if you've ever seen so much blood in your life. This other punk is scared as hell. He has no idea what's going on. He drops his knife, he runs, he races off into the night. But when that shot rings out and shoots Nastinka, and she falls, and she does not move again, you hear a most chilling noise. The sound of a howling wolf. And that's where we're going to end our penultimate episode, Into the Visible, for this evening. Thank you, everyone.